Hi, this is Rami Basiki. We're starting a new series, Introduction to Microsoft Excel using Office 365. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program that is used to record and analyze numeric data. Think of a spreadsheet as a collection of columns and rows that form a table. Alphabetic letters representing columns, numeric letters representing rows. And where the column and rows meet, this is called a cell. And a cell has a unique address. The unique address is identified by their columns and rows. In this case, the cell is D4. Cell address box in here, and that indicates this is D4. If I press in here, I have it as C7. As I indicated, this area is our cell address box. This area is our formula bar. This area, it is our quick access toolbar. Quick access toolbar help us out with the quick commands that can be customized by ourselves. Usually close commands, save, print, or any other commands that you would like to customize with. Next, it's called tab menu. In this area, it's a tab menu. Tabs opens up submenus by themselves, and those submenus are called ribbon bar. The tab menu consists of a collection of similar group of commands. Let's say home usually deal with formattings, which is fonts, alignments, styles, editing of cells. And insertion, in this case, we talked about pictures, graphs, add-ins, and filters and other things. Next thing, on the bottom, on the left-hand side, you will see something called Sheet 1, because this is our worksheet. If I open up a new sheet, it would be sheet number 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutively, the numbers will come. But you can change their name. Let's say I like to call this one, I rename this one by right mouse click, change it to first project. Press enter. Sheet 1, project. Okay. Collection of sheets called workbook. Let's create our first spreadsheet. Okay, now the definitions out of the way, we're going to start working with spreadsheets. A few things you should know. In Excel, in every cell, you can either write text or you can have numbers like, or you can have dates in this case. If you have numbers, let's truncate this one to make it as 1, 2, 3, 4. There are several ways you can deal with numbers. Either your number will be general, or it is going to be currency. We can use an accounting ones as a currency and a two decimal place. And there are many other ways we can format that. Also, we can have a scientific fractions and so on and so forth. Our text usually is not added or subtracted, But what you can do, you can concatenate text with one another. So we may be able to use addition with text only for concatenation purposes. Same thing with using our dates. Our date fields could be multiple version of the dates available to us. And we can have a long or short, or as we going to the end with more fonts, we'll have different types of uh, dates to be shown for us to use. You can have it this format, you can have it 314 or whatever that you're looking for. You can create it that way. Or anytime you want to clear the formats, you can always go to clear formats, and that remains as a serial number for the dates, because Excel use everything based on a serial number from 1900. Everything so from 0 go all the way up. Now we're just going to use that one as a short date, and just going to keep that one as the way it is. Now let's start create our own Excel spreadsheet. For fun, let's say we have product date sold quantity price total sold. Product A, product B, product A. Date sold, let's say one was sold in 1/2/2019 and 3/1/2019. And the quantities that we have, let's say product A was sold for, let's say there are like 1,000 quantities, and then E 2,200. Let's say product C will cost each one of them for $30, and B cost $25 and $150. All right. First thing we're going to do, we're going to use our formatting. Let's make the spreadsheet presentable. So first, let's click and drag our title and make them a little larger. Make it 12 points. Make them bold. And the same thing we're going to do with our products in this case. So we make them 12 points and bold. Okay. And let's say we are interested to make this. If you hold the control key down and then add that, it would be both highlighted at the same time. Let's make the fill color for each one of them to be like this. Okay. And we're making them centered. Okay. So now we have a kind of a better looking spreadsheet. In our spreadsheet, one thing we wanted to do, we know this is the price. Price is based on dollar, so it's currency. So why don't we just like highlight the whole thing? We could have used this accounting, just click on $sign for accounting purposes. The only problem with that one is the $sign will be showing up all the way to the left. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is why it's going to show up. That's not what I'm interested in. It would be easier if the $sign would be right next to your numbers. It's more readable that way. And now we do have our quantities and everything else. Why don't we just also make these to be centered? So highlight them, go and align them, center, aligned. And now we are interested to make our first formula. In order to have formulas here that we're going to work with, every formula starts with equal sign. That means I am entering into a formula zone. for this cell. So now I'm going to use my cell referencing. Cell referencing, as you remember, let's say this 1000 is E, what? 4. So is E4, where the column and rows, they meet each one another. I could write down 1000 times 30, but it is not what I'm interested in. I want to find if I want to create a formula for this. So I take E4, I can write it E4, or I could just click on a cell that I'm interested in, and automatically Excel populates that one with its cell reference number. E4 times, which is asterisk, by the price of that one. That gives me how much did I sell that one. Okay. By pressing Enter key, it tells you we sold $30,000 on January 2nd, 2019 for that product A. Now instead of I keep going and just like keep typing equal sign and then select this, then multiply, then another one, and then enter. Yes, if I can get my total sold one at a time. If I have 1 million rows, don't have to do that 1 million times. It's easier to use Excel copy. So I can, on this formula that I already have, I can press copy and then highlight the rest, press paste, and it automatically will come in. For this fields, whenever you see hashtags like this, that means the cell is not big enough to show that calculation. So you can go up between the two cells, that turns into a double arrow, click and drag it to the right, or you can drag it to the left, it doesn't matter. Okay. In this case, you want to drag it to the right so they show up. There's another method that actually is easier, which is all the expert user using it. Instead of dragging it, as soon as this turns into a double arrow, they just double click. Total. I can just like go up here to auto sum, and that's another way to do totals with all of these guys by pressing auto sum. And this is this cell that I'm interested in, pressing enter key, and that's my total of all the items that was sold. We can make this one highlighted. Even if you're interested, you can change the font color to whatever that you are interested in. Let's make it like this, so I just show itself. Let's say you're interested to have double lines for the last one, so you make it a little bit more readable. You can come back, select double border in this case. So if I click on that, now I have a border sitting in here. A, B, C cells. Okay. Now ABC cells doesn't look good like this. We can actually highlight this, or I could have moved that one in here and then drag both and click on merge and center. Now it is showing my titles much better, but maybe it's interested to change my title to a much larger, make it 24, bold. Now I have ABC cells and my first spreadsheet's been written that way. So what we did was, in essence, we use labels, we use dates, numbers, we formatted our numbers, and we added our numbers to one. We multiply our numbers and then we added our numbers together. Okay. So this is how we write our Excel spreadsheets. This is our first spreadsheet.